Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a topic that is honestly going to completely change the dynamic in millions of households. We're going to translate feline instincts into actionable, everyday behaviors to help you build a much deeper, more profound bond with your cat. We are unpacking 7 incredible secrets drawn directly from recent animal behavioral science and feline psychology. And let me tell you, by the time we're done here, you are going to look at your furry friend in a completely different light.
So let's just jump right in with a pretty stark question, one that kind of challenges what we think we know about our pets. Does your cat actually feel loved by you? Now, if you're like most pet owners, your immediate knee-jerk reaction is an enthusiastic, well, of course. I mean, you feed them, you buy them a ton of toys, you cuddle them. But here's the fascinating reality. While your intentions are absolutely pure, your delivery, it might be getting completely lost in translation. Because here's the thing, most of us express affection like humans, while our cats are quietly sitting there hoping for something entirely different. They just can't speak our language to tell us. You have to remember, humans are primates. We are wired to love physical touch, direct eye contact, big, tight hugs. But felines are completely different creatures. They still have these wild instincts deeply hardwired right into their DNA. And when you miss their subtle little requests, your cat actually notices. They really do just sit there hoping one day you'll finally figure it out. Well, today is that day. All right, section 1, visual and vocal cues. Let's look at how to actually start speaking their language. This perfectly captures the whole communication barrier we're dealing with. You know the drill? You lock eyes with your cat from across the living room and you just smile. To us, staring means, hey, I love you, I'm paying attention to you. But to a cat, in the wild, wide, unblinking eyes mean a challenge. It's literally predatory behavior. So you think you're smiling at them, but they see a threat. You are essentially challenging your cat to a duel when all you meant to do is say hello. So what should we be doing instead? We need to use what researchers call the cat kiss. It's basically a 2-second slow blink that indicates vulnerability. Have you ever caught your cat staring at you and then they just really slowly close their eyes? They aren't just getting sleepy. In the wild, closing your eyes in front of another animal is the ultimate display of vulnerability. It's them saying they don't see you as a threat. So instead of staring back like a deer in headlights, you need to offer this cat kiss right back to them. Just match their soft, rhythmic eye closing to say, hey, I'm safe and I trust you too. And look, this isn't just some cute, made-up internet theory. Hard science actually backs this up. A fascinating study out of the University of Sussex proved that cats are significantly more likely to approach a person who slow blinks at them than someone who just stares. It takes literally 2 seconds of your day, but returning that slow blink tells your cat absolutely everything they needed to hear. You're finally speaking their language. Okay, moving on from eyes to voice, let's talk about something we all do, even if we don't want to admit it. Do you have a specific, totally embarrassing, high-pitched baby voice that you only use with your cat in private? You know, the one you'd be mortified if your neighbors actually heard? Well, great news. Using a normal, flat voice gets little to no reaction from a cat. But that high-pitched cat voice, it triggers high engagement. They are actually waiting for you to use it. But wait, here's the absolute kicker. A 2022 French study proved that cats only respond to this specific high-pitched tone when it belongs to their owner. Seriously, if a stranger does it, they could not care less. It signals warmth and connection specifically from you. If you only ever use your flat, everyday tone of voice with them, they absolutely notice that missing affection. So don't hold back. Keep using that ridiculous voice. It is scientifically proven love.
Let's keep things moving with section 2, completing the hunting cycle. We're going to tap right into those primal instincts. Stalk, chase, pounce, catch, kill, eat. This right here is the biological hunting sequence that nature programmed directly into their brains. When you wiggle a little feather toy or point a laser pointer, their brain fires up this exact specific sequence. But here is where we go completely wrong. Most owners frustratingly stop the game right at step 3. We let them chase it, we let them pounce, but then we just toss the toy aside and walk away. To a cat, that is like watching an amazing action movie that just cuts to black right before the climax. They are left totally frustrated, overstimulated, and stuck in hunting mode with zero closure. But the fix? It's honestly so simple. First off, you gotta let them actually catch the toy. Let them win. Second, allow them to kill it. You've probably seen those adorable yet kind of aggressive little back leg kicks. Yeah, that's them finishing the job. Finally, and this is crucial, provide a small treat right after to simulate the final step, eating.
By giving them that closure to their hunting mode, they actually become calmer, way more satisfied, and ultimately much more bonded to you. Why? Because you finally play the game the way they needed to play it.
All right, on to section 3, mastering environment and scent. We need to completely rethink your shared territory. You know how your cat is always trying to get on top of the fridge or scale your highest bookshelves? Well, for a cat, vertical height equals control, power, and safety. In the wild, the cat sitting the highest is the one in charge, simply because they can survey their whole territory for threats. And because almost all human furniture, our couches, our chairs, our beds, is low to the ground, cats often feel incredibly vulnerable in our homes. Offering them a dedicated, comfortable spot that's above your eye level gives them the absolute security of serving their kingdom.
Now, shifting gears to another sense entirely. Think about this. A cat's sense of smell is a staggering 14 times stronger than ours. 14 times. They experience the world largely through scent, in ways we really can't even begin to comprehend. And in their world, your specific scent is the ultimate signal of home and safety.
Which leads us to this wildly effective little hack. Leaving your worn clothes out literally wraps your cat in your scent, which significantly reduces separation anxiety. Have you ever found your cat sleeping on the sweaty gym shirt you literally just took off, instead of that expensive velvet cat bed you bought them? They aren't just being weird. It's a deeply intentional bonding behavior. So instead of throwing that hoodie straight in the wash, try leaving it on their favorite chair when you leave for work. It acts as a super powerful bonding tool that comforts them and tells them they belong to someone, even when you aren't in the room.
And that brings us to section 4, the true meaning of affection. It's time to rethink intimacy.
Okay, tell me if this sounds familiar. Your cat wanders into the room, walks somewhat near you, but the literal second you reach out to pet them, they move just out of reach. It kind of feels like rejection, right? But this is actually what animal behaviorists call parallel presence. It's the act of existing in the exact same space without any physical contact or expectations. When your cat sits just out of your reach, you aren't being rejected. You are being invited into something incredibly special. Cats show trust by just being together, by just reading a book or scrolling on your phone and completely ignoring them while they sit 3 feet away. You're sharing space without demanding a single thing from them. And to them, that is profound feline intimacy.
All right, this brings us to what I honestly consider the ultimate secret of this whole explainer. It's a quick 5-minute technique that almost nobody does, but it literally unlocks childhood memories for your cat. Are you ready? All you need is a clean, soft bristle toothbrush and a little bit of room temperature water. I know, it sounds totally bizarre, but just stick with me here.
So, why on earth does a toothbrush work? Well, when you slightly dampen those bristles and gently stroke your cat's head, the texture and that slight bit of moisture perfectly mimic a mother cat grooming her kittens. If you focus right on the forehead, the cheeks, and right behind the ears, you are sending an ancient, incredibly powerful message of safety straight into their central nervous system. It literally rebuilds fundamental trust from the ground up. The end result? This overwhelming feeling of absolute security. It tells them, you're safe, you're loved, you're home. For rescue cats, or frankly any adult cat who maybe hasn't felt that pure maternal care in years, this grooming technique acts like emotional time travel. It translates to the absolute purest form of love they can possibly experience. Seriously, try it for 5 minutes tonight. The purring and the affectionate leaning you will get in return will absolutely amaze you. Ultimately, taking all of these steps bridges that massive communication gap between our two entirely different species. So, I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to reflect on. Are you ready to stop loving your cat like a human and start actually loving them like a cat? I highly encourage you to try integrating these slow blinks, giving them closure on their hunts, and maybe breaking out that toothbrush this week. I guarantee you are going to see a side of your pet you never even knew existed. Thanks so much for joining me as we explored this fascinating research. Now go give your cat a slow blink for me.